Alright guys, so welcome back, and when we last left off, we are looking at some credits, running on a beat, stopping every now and again, having Amelie / Bridget talk to us. Double jumping a couple of times, why not? This part is honestly taking a little longer than I would have liked.
The first operation, I was only 20. I opened my eyes and found myself on the beach. But the moment I came round, I was back in the hospital bed. I was split across two worlds. Bridget, my Ha in that one. Amelie, my Ka in this. Somehow, the two of us managed to coexist. Soon, our ages began to diverge. Bridget's body got older, while the beach kept Amelie's the same. So I came up with a story. I told people that Amelie was my daughter. A daughter with a debilitating condition and an absent father. Look. Amelie. Is French for soul. A soul that's a lie. There was no Amelie. Only me and the beach. I thought it was a curse in the beginning. But later, I started thinking, maybe I can use this. I tried to find out more about the beach. Because understanding the beach had to be the key to interpreting my visions of the future.
Man, why can't this just be one continuous thing while I keep getting up? There we go. No? Honestly, I kind of just want to sit here because I don't want to keep running around for no reason. Final run around.
I realized the beach was connected to the world of the dead, which meant that somewhere out beyond it were the memories of time itself, including those of every organism that had ever lived. 4.6 billion years of biological history, a history that might even stretch back to the creation of the universe. The chiral network and everything that followed was born from my pursuit of that knowledge. By passing data through the beach, we were unbound by the restrictions of time. Simulations that would have taken years or more were simple and effortless. Everything that the Earth had lost and forgotten could be reconstructed and reclaimed. But shortly after we began our research, America saw its first void out. I thought I was running out of time, that my nightmares were becoming a reality. So I raced to complete the chiral network as quickly as possible. The past held all the answers. If only I could find a way to piece them together. A network that bridged our world and the beach. That might do it, I believed. So I started researching bridge babies, children bound to the world of the dead. What causes an extinction entity to come into being? What was the reason for the previous 5 mass extinctions? The answers to those questions would tell me how to stop the 6th. I founded bridges, more determined than ever to build a chiral network that would cover all of America. But the longer I fought my war against the inevitable, the weaker I became. My Ha had cancer. The beach's punishment, maybe, for not playing along like a good little EE. And then, just like that, my Ha was gone. I couldn't finish what I'd started. So, I asked you to do it for me. And you did. You helped us complete the network. Helped us to reclaim everything the universe experienced from its inception to this moment. Every mystery was ours to solve, like this one. Once, there was an explosion. A big bang that gave birth to time and space. Thing is, it was more like a big fluke. All that matter and antimatter should have canceled itself out, leaving nothing. But somehow a tiny speck of matter survived. Just enough. Enough to make this world and everything in it. A world that shouldn't be, a world out of balance. Order inevitably gives way to chaos. Everything that lives must inevitably die. It's like the universe is trying to return us to the nothing we came from. Maybe the Big Five were its best attempts to finish us off. But somehow, life always managed to survive just enough. Enough to thumb its nose at the will of the cosmos. You know, I'm starting to think that extinction might be the key to overcoming total annihilation. It forces life to fight to survive, to endure, to exist. That's why the Big Five ultimately rekindled life instead of extinguishing it. From the ashes of the dead, rise the living. Stronger and wiser. Inheritors of the legacy of existence itself. They defy the universe and refuse to surrender. They say, we're just getting started. Extinction is an opportunity.
Okay. See, I don't mind the big exposition dump, and that's kind of what this is. It's just basically explaining everything. I just wish it was kind of all in one. don't get why he has to keep falling down. I wonder if we're able to get up here, or if those little cutscenes are technically designed to be closer to the beach.
I pulled the trigger twice that day. I knew at once I'd made a mistake. I found your beach and looked everywhere for you. Sam. There you are. You want to go home? Let's go home. I wanted to set you free from death once and for all. It's okay. I know the way. But in doing so, I upset the fundamental balance between life and death. I just wanted to save you. I am an extinction entity. It's my fate to lead our species to extinction. But that moment, you became part of that fate. You became a repatriate, and dooms started spreading my nightmares to others throughout the world. It was me that got you and everyone with dooms into this. Not long after, the Death Stranding occurred. The dead clung to our world, and BTs used my beach to cross over and devour them, triggering more void outs. A catalyst that would set the world on a path to extinction. It was my duty to serve as a sacrifice, to wait and watch it unfold from this beach. That, or hasten the last stranding and end this slow death. Given these, my only options, I chose to end it quickly. But to trigger the last stranding, I needed you, a part of me. Here too. I would be able to witness extinction consummated with you by my side. But now that you're here, there's another choice. You can cut me off. An EE doesn't have that option for itself. But in my nightmares, I saw another future. One that you chose. One where extinction is hope against total annihilation.
Very interesting. There's the cast. Motion capture. They did a fantastic job with the motion capture. Oh, Amelie is Emily O'Brien, and see, but it says up at the top, Amelie and Bridget Strand is Lizzie Wagner. That's weird.
Faintly, I'll go to take this head on. Soon I'll come around.
It's not letting us go there.
Waiting for my words, seem vanilla, buried underground, but I'll keep coming.
Yep, I was right. Jordan Vogt Roberts. He's the director of Kong Skull Island and wants to direct a Metal Gear Solid movie. But we never did find Jeff Keighley. Found Conan O'Brien though. And I recognize the name Edgar Wright, but I don't know who it is.
Make you heart proud. Soon I'll come around. Lost and never found. Waiting for my words.
gun won't help you here. But it still has a role to play.
Ooh. Reconnect with the living.
Listen, Sam. I was the one that brought you and Cliff together again. There was something I wanted you to know. You were never abandoned. And you're not alone. Don't you see, Sam? You have to live.
Look at them people out there. It's creepy.
I see him. This way. Brother. He's over there. Sam! Sam! Over here, Sam. Dead man. We're coming, Sam. Are you ready for a job?
Ready. Sam! I see him.
Okay. Blue, take me to Sam.
Don't give up. You're still connected.
Hey, there we go. An S. Thank you, Sam. We got a lot of holograms. Let's see, we've now played for 50 hours and 2 minutes. My guess is it'll be like 52 to 53 when it's really all done. It's taking forever to load though. Oh, never mind. Just didn't show it.
For too long have we lived as strangers to one another, divided by walls built to keep us safe. But now, with the completion of the Cairo network, we may at last move forward as a people united. Today, we come together to celebrate the birth of a new nation. A new nation for a new world. The United Cities of America. I once took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And though that proud republic may be no more, we remain. And so, as your president, I hereby swear to support and defend you, the people. Let there be no more walls between us, nor masks to hide who we are. Let there be a new America. An America where we can face one another, where we can speak our minds and open our hearts. The old ways die hard, but I believe, my fellow Americans, that we have the strength and the courage to rise above our past and embrace our future. The Death Stranding is a part of that past. An enduring shadow, a constant reminder of what could have been. That we stand here today is testament, not to the greatness of any one individual, but to our capacity to come together, to the bonds between us, to our collective greatness. All things must come to an end, ourselves included. But as long as we savor each moment, find joy in the promise of tomorrow, embrace hope, and reject despair, we will endure. President Bridget Strand and her daughter, Samantha America Strand, sacrificed everything in their pursuit of hope that we, the people, might be whole again. That they are not here today to see the fruits of their labor fills us all with a profound sadness. But we find comfort in the knowledge that their memories will live on in the Cairo network and in our hearts. We will always remain connected. There is another hero in this story. One whose achievements seem destined to go unrecognized. America still needs that hero. That person without whom we would not be here. The name is unimportant, but you know who I mean. And for that unsung hero, I have a message. It was you who brought us together. You who made us whole again. And while you and I will eventually pass on, we will be...
Going somewhere, Sam? Tired of being the unsung hero?
No, I'm done is all. She's gone.
Come on, wait. There's something I need to tell you. Huh. This doesn't bother you anymore? Well, that's great. Now, wouldn't you like to know how we brought you back from the beach? We were going to use the doll, but didn't have one handy, which is when I remembered something else.
Not what I think it is.
Yes. What could be more connected to Amelie's beach than President Strand's umbilical cord? Hartman thought that's why she left it with me in the first place. Unfortunately,
It didn't work.
yeah, she'd already cut her beach loose. It was just gone. We didn't know if that meant she dragged you into the great beyond or sent you to some other beach. We were really racking our brains. Hartman and Mama split up and started searching every beach you might feasibly have washed up on. We looked for a month with absolutely nothing to show for it.
A month on the outside. How long on the inside?
Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to know. But don't worry. We found no signs of accelerated aging. In the end, this is what led us to you. Just when we were about to give up, Die Hardman reminded us about the revolver. So, we tried to follow it, and it led us to a far corner of your own beach. And bingo, there you were. Mama made visual contact first. She was able to see you from her vantage point on the other side. She informed Lochna via their connection, and Hartman confirmed your location during his subsequent NDE. The plan was for Fragile to, in essence, slingshot Lou and me to your position, so we could rescue you. But it's not so easy to send multiple individuals to another person's beach for an extended period of time. And that's where the umbilical cord came in. We wove these from President Strand's DNA. They serve as a single knot that binds us all. The President must have known all of this would happen. Ironic, isn't it? The gun that set this whole mess in motion ends up being the key to saving you.
Amelie, she said it had another purpose.
Not a weapon, but a lifeline. A stick that became a rope. I suppose that's one way of putting it. Oh, Sam. You have no idea how long I've been waiting to give you a hug. Got something else to tell you. Top secret. It's about Cliff. Bibi's mother's name was Lisa Bridges, Cliff's common-law wife.
Lisa Bridges?
Now, Cliff was killed by a man identified in the records only as John. Former U.S. Special Forces. Quite good at it by all accounts. Later appointed as an aide to the President, who used him for most of her wet work. The records go on to state that he vanished after Cliff's death. A warrant was put out, but he was later found dead. Turns out some people die harder than others, though. Dear John donned a mask and reappeared with a new identity. But you can't fool the chiral network. We restored the old records, and Mama hid them deep in the archives. You're the only one, besides us, with access privileges. Take a look if you're so inclined. But don't say I didn't warn you. The President's got some dirty, dirty laundry. I don't trust him. But I'll work with him if that's what it takes. We'll talk later.
Sam. I don't expect you to forgive me. But would you hear me out? I killed Captain Clifford Unger. I would tell you I did it for America. For love of country. But I didn't. I did it for her. Because I loved her with all my heart. She was everything to me. Everything. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses. I just want you to know that not a day's gone by when I haven't thought about it. Time didn't help. or the mask. Please, let me finish. The captain, saved my life. You know why they call me Die Hardman. Because he wouldn't let me die. He brought my sorry ass back home every time. And I loved him as much as I loved her. And when he stared me down, that ghost, I knew he was here to kill me, to make it right. And why shouldn't he? Why didn't he? He couldn't save his kid, his baby. And that's what brought him back. I guess when he saw I was trying to do my part for America, he remembered who he was. And he forgave me. God! But I don't deserve it, God damn it! There is no atoning for what I've done. Damn, God! But maybe this is the next best thing. Maybe he brought me back from the beach for a reason. One last time. He wanted me to do this. To keep on being Die Hardman.
No. He didn't. Nobody wants a president who acts like they're immortal. And if you're not scared of death, how can you value life? And life is pretty fucking fragile right now. And yeah, the old ways die hard. But that's what's gonna have to happen if we're gonna come together and build a better America. That gun won't help you here. That's her words, not mine.
Thank you, Sam.
Hey, Sam. Been waiting for you.
Lou?
Dead?
Poor thing was never truly alive. Not in this world, at least. The decommissioning order finally came through. Can't risk necrosis. The body can't stay here. I thought you might want to take care of it. You could try taking Lou out of the pod just to see what happens. But that would be in direct contravention of an executive order. And there are laws about that kind of thing, now that we're a nation. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But if the alternative is defying the president, I can't do that either. Not me.
All right. I'll go to the incinerator.
Before you leave, I'd like to check something quickly. I just took your cufflinks offline. In that state, there'd be nothing to stop you from removing them. If you did, the UCA wouldn't know where you were or how to find you. You'd be invisible. When you use the incinerator, you'll be reconnected to the network automatically. I trust you'll remember what I said.
Right. Absolutely. Thanks for everything. How's the weather?
Don't think you'll be needing an umbrella. I decided to follow my father's dream after all. Don't worry, I won't get mixed up with any terrorists this time. UCA's got my back. We're the first private delivery company to get the official approval.
Sounds like you're moving up in the world. Congratulations.
Thanks. Wait. There's something I have to tell you. I didn't shoot Higgs. Couldn't pull the trigger. So I let him choose. Death or eternal solitude on the beach.
Fair enough. You never did like breaking things.
That's right. I find and fix what's broken. And reconnect. I'm fragile.
But not that fragile.
Wanna come work for me? Could use a man like you.
The world's still broken. Same as before.
What isn't? But we're still here. We're still chugging along.
Not everyone. Not me.
Come on. You put America back together, didn't you?
Doesn't mean there's a place for me. I've got no ties to anyone or anything. I might as well be dead. I felt like that when we first met in the cave. I still do.
Don't act like you're the same person. You've learned how to touch, to feel. You've connected with people. With us.
Everything I touch, I lose.
Sam!
last delivery.
Episode 14, Lou. That's very sad. Lay BB to rest. Whoops. Oh, we have no, okay. BB's theme. Okay, I was just making sure. That was a very nice song.
Alright. I guess we're here. You still with me, Lil?
Poor thing was never truly alive. Not in this world, at least.
Thanks for everything.
Child's special. One of a kind.
A BB candidate.
Either that, or
A sacrifice.
A foundation. A bridge.
Brought you an astronaut. Mankind can go anywhere, even outer space. You'll be out of there in no time. And the second all this is over, I'm gonna take you wherever you want to go. Can I help you? Holy shit. John, is that you?
Captain, what are you doing here?
My wife's checked in. They don't want a repeat of last year.
The Void out in Manhattan. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were the husband.
This isn't what we agreed on. You said you'd do everything in your power to save BB.
We are. But we cannot release your son just yet. Believe me when I tell you it's for the best.
This is a woman in a mask who's done nothing but lie to me.
I have a duty to protect our country. Lies are an unfortunate necessity.
The President gave me the highest level access privileges. I've used them to manipulate the security system. We have 5 minutes before it resets, sir. 5 minutes to talk. Off the record. Take BB and get out of this place. There's nothing I can do for your wife. I'm sorry. You were my commanding officer, but I swore an oath to the President to protect her and the country at all costs. Now, if she orders me to do something, I have to do it. I have to. But I served under you first. And your family doesn't deserve this. Any of this.
Why are you helping me? If they catch you.
Because you saved my life, sir. Again and again. When the brass sent us into the jaws of hell, it was you that brought us home. Back then, I thought I was invincible. I thought I was some kind of action hero. But I'm not the hero. You are, sir. You're the reason I'm still alive. And it's past time I paid that debt. They're moving your son to a new facility tomorrow. You'll never see him again. He'll serve as the foundation of a new communications network. A sacrifice for a nation that no longer exists. I wrote down everything you need to know. It was the only way to keep it off the system. Burn it when you're done. The rest is up to you, sir. I believe this belongs to you, sir. Now, I can't terminate your wife's life support from inside her room. System won't allow it. So, this is the only other option. An alarm is set to go off if she flatlines. I've rigged the system to spoof her vitals. But you won't have long. 5 minutes, tops. Don't hesitate, sir. This is the only chance you'll get.
I'm sorry, Lisa. Don't worry. I'll take care of him. I promise you. Promise you. My animal, Lisa. Sorry.
just took your cufflinks offline. In that state, there'd be nothing to stop you from removing them. If you did, the UCA wouldn't know where you were or how to find you. You'd be invisible. When you use the incinerator, you'll be reconnected to the network automatically. You could try taking Lou out of the pod just to see what happens. But that would be in direct contravention of an executive order.
Bye, Lou.
A purpose that cannot fulfill outside the pod. There is a 70% risk of catastrophic failure simply in removing it.
Freeze! Hey, put it down! Drop it! Put it down!
Back off. Back off!
Stand down. Get up! Don't do it! I'll handle this. You two, stay there and hold your fire.
Thanks for trying, John.
Stop! Step aside, sir, or we'll be forced to open fire. It's a dead end. He's trapped. Security will take it from here.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I screwed it up. I've ruined everything.
This room is off limits. No one goes in. But he's in there, sir. I saw him. You saw him wrong. Now check the other way. Go! Yes, sir.
No. Open it up. He's inside.
Move, dumbass.
BB. Don't worry. It's okay. I'll always be with you. See the sunset, the day is ending. Let that yawn out, there's no pretending. I will hold you and protect you, so let love warm you till the morning. When I found out I was gonna be a father, I was so scared. Scared of what it would mean. I had to be there for you and your mom, no matter what. I couldn't just go off and get myself killed.
Get off of him! Now!
I had it all wrong. All wrong. Being a father didn't make me scared. It made me brave. I'm sorry. Sorry it took me so long.
Captain, look at you.
Don't make the same mistake. Be yourself. Be free.
Oh my God.
Captain, I need you to hand it over.
Shoot him, John.
Let it go. Please.
Shoot him! I gave you an order. Shoot him!
You told me your name was Sam Porter. But you're Sam Bridges. My son. My bridge to the future. Without you, I was just like any other Cliff. A dead end. No way forward. Nothing but an obstacle. Looking on at the world people like you were trying to build. Dividing people was the only thing I was ever good at. But not you, Sam. You bring people together. You're their bridge to the future. And mine. Come on, Sam. Stand up.
Is this me?
Oh, God. Not BB2.
No, 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 no!
days as a BB are over, now that his connection to the other side has been severed.
It was me who cut the cord. So yes.
A deathless repatriate in the world of the living. Should we decommission it?
In a manner of speaking. Take him out of the pod. I'll raise him as my own.
Wake up. Wake up. Come on. Wake up! Come on, wake up. Lou.
Well, that's how you do an ending. That was fantastic. And honestly, it's the ending that makes a lot of games. And that made it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and stay quiet during the credits, but I'll come back after them.
Level trust is you. Something makes the sound. Next level trust is you. Next level trust is you. Life is such a wonderful waste of time. I wanna spend it with
Let's make a toast to the damned, waiting for tomorrow when we're played out by the band, drowning out our sorrows. What will become of us now at the end of time? We'll be fine, you and I. Let's draw a line in the sand, keep it straight and narrow. We had it all in our hands. We begged and then we borrowed. What will become of us all at the end of love? When we stopped looking up, you can take my heart and hold it together as we fall apart. Maybe together we can make a mark in the stars. We embark and keep us together as our lights go dark. Let's tell the truth just for once, asking for an answer now that it's all said and done. Nothing really matters. What will become of us all if we dare to dream at the end of the scene? You can take my heart, hold it together as we fall apart. Maybe together we can make a mark in the stars. We embark and keep us together as our lights go dark.
Okay, that's the credits, and I guess you could say, oh, this is everything. Tumbles taken, 8. I mean, that's not too bad. Pieces of footwear worn out, only 2. Total water ingested, 47,000 milliliters. Blood transfused into Sam, 10,000 milliliters. Total cryptobiotes ingested, 214. Total rest time, 19 hours and 52 minutes. That seems a lot. I don't know what that means. Types of items fabricated, 26 of 72. Wow. Total number of structures built, 73. Road sections restored, 14. Total distance traveled, 221.9 kilometers. Total play time is 51 hours, 15 minutes, and 15 seconds. Will be a little more after this, but the order record, orders completed 118, 64 for Sam, 30 standard, 24 24 by bot, no supply requests, 158 pieces of lost cargo picked up, 89 pieces of lost cargo delivered. Delivery completed with an evaluation of awesome is 4. Same thing with the next 2. Total pieces of cargo delivered, 294. Total weight of cargo delivered, 3.71 tons. That's a lot. Connections made. Number of times BB soothed, 38. Likes from BB, 596. BB connection level was 5, all the way. Thanks for everything. Bridges contracts made, 30. UCA members recruited, 27. 3-star or higher accounts, 16. 4-star or higher accounts, 4. Max level connection, none, but we were close on a few. Connections made with other players, 575. Total likes received, 54,005. NPCs gave me 30,491. Other players, 23,514. And our porter grade, 211. Courier. A lot of sound data from the last couple hours. A lot of new stuff to read, it seems. This is going to be a long-ended video, by the way. So we'll have probably some emails, some interviews, and the 2 memory chips. Episode 15, tomorrow is in your hands. 2 weeks earlier. So we basically have that allotted time to do whatever we want. But all we're really going to do probably is read the emails.
Good morning, Sam.
And
Blood
maybe
collection
check on some
complete.
stuff.
Thank you for your generosity.
Well, look who's awake. Morning, Sam. You'll be happy to hear your vitals have stabilized, and that you're well on your way to recovery. Not that it's your fault, but what I wouldn't give to trade places. We're all stuck in the president's office, working like dogs to get everything ready in time for the inauguration. But at least one of us is still free as a bird. You should head out. Make the most of it. Could even do some orders if you wanted. Might do you good to get back in the game. You may recall it was raining buckets back when you left for Amelie's Beach. We took a real beating at the time, but we've done our best to service the structures and vehicles in the area. So you know, any cargo that was stored in your private locker at a damaged facility should have been transferred to your private locker here at this distro center. Anyway, busy or not, we'll still be on the end of the line if you need us. And if you want some alone time, we should be able to manage for now. Just make sure you're back in time for the big day, all right? See you then. Hey, Sam, you sure you don't have any unfinished business?
Okay. Pass the time until the presidential inauguration. Alright, oh wow. Lolo, Sam, and that big old whale thing. Let's go ahead and drink the beers. We'll let the last one play out. He's gonna shake it in our face.
Right in your face.
And then we've seen all the figures behind us. Let's go ahead and use the sink one last time. It's been a while since we've actually... Wow. That's a lot. There's a lot of EX grenades for those things. And then top it off with a nice shower. Now, I'll say this is probably the game with the most butts that I've seen. So, I've seen Sam's butt quite a lot.
EX grenade number 0.
See, weapon rack hasn't changed. Let's go ahead, check on Lou.
Tired, huh?
Backpack customization. I wonder if anything has changed. That's everything there. Accessories. Still just got those. Might as well. So I wanted to see about the We get any new ones? I don't think so. And I'm not a gold type person, but for some reason I like it on the backpack. Nothing new with the cap. Nothing new, I don't think. Nothing new. Oh, we can actually change these colors now. And we'll go ahead and head up because the memory chips can only be accessed, I think, at the top.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Alt.
Oh, the bot's done, I forgot. And it did a horrible job like always. Okay, so we finally finish at 212 for the courier with 294 pieces delivered, 3,713 kilograms total weight, and 221.9 kilometers traveled. 51 hours, 28 minutes. Again, will be a little more by the end. No need in doing that. And then we, of course, have all these standard ones, but not going to do it. There we go. 2 memory chips.
You picked this up for me? You shouldn't have. Really.
I say, I don't know what I did to deserve such kindness.
Wow, we have a lot to read.
Your contribution.
Okay. We'll go ahead. Let's get these tips out the way. Damn it. I thought that was going to be all just that one. Want everything cleared, you know? Alright, let's do the memory chips first. Dawn, Silent Poets. The first original album in 12 years from Silent Poets, whose song Asylums for the Feeling was used in the 2018 E3 trailer for Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima himself said that upon hearing their album Dawn for the first time, the image of Sam striding through the wilds came immediately to mind, and he subsequently contacted Silent Poets personally to ask them to be part of the project. Upon the trailer's release, the public response was equally enthusiastic, and Silent Poets hit the charts worldwide. Incidentally, the band is the solo project of musician Michiharu Shimoda, who also runs a catering company which looked after the Death Stranding team more than once during development. Another strand of fate at work. Then, An Unknown Man's Journal Part 3, The Secret Confessions of a Certain Someone, Access the interviews menu to learn more. Okay, so we got Die Hardman's things. Oh crap. Oh no, that's the mail. Okay. We'll do these first. Victor Frank, bona fide hero shit. Well, you actually pulled it off, made it all the way out west and came back to tell the tale. I've got to admit, I was worried you wouldn't see it through. Seemed like a tall order for anyone, after all. It hasn't been easy for the people you left behind, but I told myself I'd try not to blame you. That wouldn't be fair. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. You're a real hero, Sam. And there's plenty of us out here who will never forget that. Thanks. The Chiral Artist, the wedding's back on. Dear Sam, I hope you're doing all right. So, my mother told us what happened 5 years ago. It's weird how we don't have any memory of it, though I'm glad for that. Some things are better forgotten, I think. His gang killed my parents. There's no denying that, but there's also no denying that he saved me. He took me by the hand and led me to safety. I wish I could remember that much at least. But if it meant having to remember some of the rest. He was there for me 5 years ago, and ever since my mother's been there for me, too. It's because of them and their love that I survived, and that I became who I am today. I owe them everything. Well, maybe not everything. I shouldn't forget how you've helped me, Sam. I can't thank you enough. Anyway, I'm going back to our own shelter now. No more running away from me. I've got a wedding to plan, after all. The Chiral Artist's mother. My daughter and her husband's tragic past. Dear Sam, maybe you already heard, but my daughter turned up here the other day saying she was moving back home. Not long after that, her man came around looking for her. So I decided it was time to come clean and tell them the whole truth about what happened 5 years ago, the truth about how they first met. My daughter's real parents were killed by a gang of junk dealers, a gang to which her own husband used to belong. He was just a boy at the time, though, and in fact, he was the one who saved her life. Somehow he convinced the others to leave her be. I still remember the way he was holding her hand when I found them. How scared she was, hood pulled over her face, unable to find the words. I'd tell you the boy chose to strike out his own after that and set himself up as a prepper, but no, I won't deny it. I didn't want to take care of both of them, so I sent him on his way. It was by pure chance that they met again and fell in love. Fate, maybe, though. I cursed it that day, let me tell you. They didn't remember each other, you see. Trauma, I suppose. So it was my burden alone to bear. Even if I wanted to keep them apart, I wouldn't dare remind them of all that. But after everything that happened, I realized it had to be done. They both needed to remember the whole of it. That he'd saved her life, sure, but that it wouldn't have needed saving if it wasn't for his gang. Knowing the truth, could they see their way to a reconciliation? Well, after some talking and thinking, they told me that if you love someone, nothing else matters. Can you believe that? So I told them to give it another go. It won't be easy, and frankly, it shouldn't be. But I sincerely believe they have what it takes. If they want to get married, I'll support their decision. Alrighty then. And it says 18 of these. Holy hell. About Sam's return. 1 week after Sam's return by Hartman. Sam has returned safe and sound. It had been about a month since he departed from Amelie's beach. 30 days of restless searching for us, though for him it must have felt like an eternity. I cannot imagine the isolation and despair he must have been forced to endure, a suffering known only by Amelie and Bridget. Sam has told us about the extinction entity and how it granted humanity a reprieve. But beyond that, he is reluctant to speak. Well, we shall not put any pressure on him. Frankly, I expect we would struggle to comprehend anything else he tells us. Suffice it to say that the last stranding has been avoided, even if its precursor has forever reshaped our world. thousands and thousands of years from now, should intelligent life walk the earth and find our fossils, they will likely conclude that Homo sapiens died out in the sixth extinction. Perhaps, if we're lucky, they may even find records we leave behind. Still, we cannot hope to guess how much they will understand about who we were. After all, their intelligence will not be like ours. Theirs will be a different understanding of the world, of our universe, different from the forms of existence, different conceptions of what it is to be alive. These invariably lead to different conceptions of what it is to die. But it matters not if they never understand who we were. All that matters, is my opinion at least. All that matters, in my opinion at least, is that they know we were here. And then all the rest of the journal entries. Journal number 10. Oh, Higgs. Okay. Samantha America Strand, Amelie. The moment I met her, I knew she was destined to make us whole again. She told me we'd do it together and even gave me a gift. A bridge baby. It's a BT sensor of sorts, although it looks like a newborn. But it's not. Amelie says it was born on the beach, and that it serves as a link between our world and the other side, between me and her, too, if I keep it with me at all times. She called it a new child for a new era. I'm not just a delivery guy anymore. I'm a herald for her and her new world. She's given me everything I ever wanted, ever needed, and now I'm free to cut Fragile loose. Number 11. Oh, these are all Higgs' journal. Okay. BB reminds me of a baby doll, but it's no toy, that's for sure. Neither dead nor alive, half human, half something else, an inhabitant of the in-between, like a mummy. A lump of flesh wrapped around a shriveled yet still beating heart. So many symbols to choose from, all signifying that humanity's reached the end of the road. The Stranding was big number 6. I see that now. And so much more. The void outs, the bodies, birthing BTs, all aspects of a single phenomenon that exists solely to wipe us off the face of the earth. We can't stop what's coming. It's inevitable. Putting Humpty Dumpty back together won't change a goddamn thing, and risking life and limb to try is a fool's errand. Why sacrifice what little you've got in the here and now for a future that'll never come? It's wasteful and meaningless. Amelie agree, I'm sure. Number 12. So I guess we missed entries 6 through 9. I met Amelie on the beach again and pressed her for more answers about the Stranding, but she wouldn't give me anything. Maybe she's got nothing to give. Maybe she's waiting till the time's right. I don't know. I don't care. We all know there's no escaping extinction. I'm struggling to see her angle. Why even pretend to rebuild? Why rail against the inevitable? If there's another layer to this, I can't work it out. And I'm getting sick and tired of trying. If she's not going to let me in on her plans, I'm going to have to assume the worst and take matters into my own hands. Give humanity the coup de grace myself. Just need the power to do it. Number 13. Dear Diary, today I nuked Middle Knot City, wiped it clean off the map. Didn't carry the bomb myself, of course. Fragile did the honors. Delivered my mercy to the people like a good little porter. I'm sure she's surprised, but she shouldn't be. Death and destruction are part of the parcel of the human condition, and bringing people together only exacerbates that. Be careful what you wish for, eh? It's like when our ancestors came from the old world to the new and brought their old world diseases with them. Natives had no immunity, and over half died in the blink of an eye. Bam! And we've only come up with better, more effective ways of killing ever since. The network's just another means of hastening the end. This was always the logical conclusion of our efforts, mine and Fragile's. Maybe that's why I partnered up with her, because in my heart of hearts, I knew it was building up to this. Number 14. Sam Porter. Where to begin? Dooms. Repatriate lone wolf. Emily's adopted brother. Motherfucker. Impression I get is that he's a loner who found meaning in being a good Samaritan. Yeah, I tried that mask on for size once upon a time. Sweet little Amelie, though, she buys into his act, thinks he's got what it takes to help her make America whole again. I tell you what, the more I look into it, the more it seems like he might actually be a true believer. Fucking hell. Anyway, he's a dead man walking. Even with Amelie's help, he'll be in Central before long. And the second he shows, I'm bringing a shit ton of BTs down on his head and turning that place into a crater. Then it's bye-bye, Sammy Porter. Bye-bye, Bridges HQ. Bye-bye, Expedition Team. Number 15. Sam's still alive. Not even a void out's enough to keep a repatriate down. Sticks in my crew. In my crawl. Second expedition got wiped out, obviously, but Sam seems happy to head west all by himself. Stupid fuck's crazier than me, or maybe just desperate. Still can't figure why rebuilding the nation's so important to him. Well, whatever. He wants to keep at it. He can be my guest. Even if he still had the others backing him up, it wouldn't make a difference. Ending's already been written. I've worked out exactly how it's going to go down, but dooms alone isn't enough. I need a greater power to finish the job, to rain down fire and brimstone on these modern-day Sodoms and Gomorrahs. So this is immediately after we got BB, basically. 16. I've discovered the truth about the Death Stranding. Amelie's powers have nothing to do with dooms. She's destruction incarnate. The angel of the Death Stranding, the extinction entity. I understand now what my true role is, the bridge that will deliver her judgment to this world, the executioner of the end. No one knows, not even Sam, but they will. 17. Sam's arrived in Port Knot City, and with Fragile to boot. Think I'll meet them there, and bring a BT or two along for the ride. It's past time I showed Bridges how powerful I've become. Come one, come all. We've had ourselves an annihilation party, and when it's over, there'll be no one left to come between me and Amelie and the end of the world. So that was, I believe, that big, giant boss fight. 18. God damn, is Sammy boy stubborn. Just ain't the quitting type. Seems it's rubbing off on Amelie, too. Girl's trying to fight her true nature. Flip the script for all the good it'll do her. What difference does it make if it ends tomorrow or a million years from now? This planet's 4.6 billion years old, and the universe, God only knows. Humanity's entire history, a blip on that time scale. What's the fucking point of fighting for a fraction longer? Anyway, Sam and Fragile made it to Lake Knot City, which is just as well. I reckon my old partner's due for a stroll down memory lane. I'll solder through the crater she carved out with that nuke of mine. Come to think of it, maybe Sam ought to walk it with her. Yeah, I think I'll have him make a special delivery of me. Okay, so it wasn't that far down yet. Number 19. Well, shit, Sam and Fragile managed to dispose of my nuke before it went off. They weren't smart enough to see through my disguise, but something must have tipped them off. Probably what I wrote on the tag. I know I should have resisted the temptation, but come on. Who the hell reads that shit these days? And now he's halfway to the coast. But he's in my neck of the woods now. And my boys ain't about to let up. We're gonna make him regret ever fucking with me and mine. Number 20. Man. A lot to read. The fuck was that storm that sucked up Sam? A supercell or whatever? I hooked up my BB just before I arrived, and it started shaking and blinking, and it's all gone sideways, and there's something else out there. Something all kinds of fucked up. Don't need a BB to tell me that. 21. I've got Amelie, fucking finally. She's trapped in Edge Knot City, a horde of BTs all around. She's not going anywhere now. No, I'm going to take good care of my sweet little angel of death, my extinction entity. We got plans, me and her. As for you, Sammy boy, you're going to learn what it means to really suffer. 22. Welcome to the Edge, Sam. You're a real asshole, but I've got to admit, you've got grit. You remind me of me in that regard, and 'cause we share a connection to Amelie. She gave your dream catcher, me my quippy. But you've never seen her face, have you? Never looked her in the eye and seen her for what she truly is. Time to wake up and smell the ashes, Sammy boy. Time for me to tell everyone, the truth that hides at the heart of the Stranding. You're gonna love it. I'd go grab some shut-eye at the distro center or whatever, if I were you. We've got a showdown coming, and you're gonna wanna be fighting fit. Just don't keep me waiting too long, you hear? 23. You're all alone now. You've lost everything, your mask, your quippy, the BB doll, gone. You thought you had the power, that you were the fated to lead them unto extinction, yet here you are alone. You thought you were in control, that this was your role, your dreams, the verge of victory, of oblivion for one and all. Herald, executioner, pawn, god particle? Huh. A stupid name for a stupid goddamn fool. This was your life, Higgs, your tale told by an idiot, full of sound and righteous fury, signifying nothing. 24. Oh god, this one's long. My first memory is of looking up at the ceiling of our shelter. As a baby, bawling my eyes out, all of a sudden the hand of God comes into view, blotting out the steel sky. Daddy lifts me up. Not gentle, but not hard. Shouts some stuff, but it's all gibberish. I can't make heads or tails of it. He ain't my real daddy, though. That one died before I was born, and Mama soon after. Of disease or something, I don't know. Her brother took me in, whisked me away from that shelter reeking of piss and death, and brought me here, Daddy number 2. He never really took to it. He was an ugly, violent man, full of anger, with nowhere to go. Tried to love me in his own way, but I don't know if he ever really... Wait. But I don't know if he ever had it in him. Daddy told me our shelter was our world, and I believed him. I grew up thinking no one but us two existed. Then, when I got a little older, I started asking questions, simple questions about where the food came from. That kind of thing. Got smacked upside the head for my troubles. But try as he might, he couldn't beat the curiosity out of me. One day... Oh, I lost where I was. One day I peeked at his monitor. It was the first glimpse I'd ever caught of the outside world. I pestered Daddy about it, and you bet I caught holy hell for it. But I wore him down, and eventually he came clean and admitted there was a whole world out there, soaked to the bone by timefall and overrun by demons that'd eat me up. It occurred to me later that his fear-mongering probably got my mama killed, filling her head with his hysterics about the dead walking the earth, and the only safe haven being 6 feet under. 26. Or 25. My mama entrusted me to her brother, so he had no choice but to raise me best he could. Say what you will about the man, but he had himself a sense of obligation. He might even have harbored a measure of affection for me, but whatever was in his heart he expressed with his hands, his fists. Any hopes and dreams he might have had for me, for us, fell by the wayside pretty quick. He slipped into a daily routine of warnings to stay the fuck inside, bookended by beatings to drive the point home. I think sometimes he sincerely believed that was the only way to protect me, but I wasn't about to go on living like that. Can't cage a young boy's spirit. If I'd stayed, I'd died, body and soul. I had to get out, started hoarding supplies in secret, but he caught on. That was the beginning of the worst beating yet. He was grabbing anything and everything within reach that could be used as a weapon, tearing our shelter apart, smashing furniture, all the while wailing like a wounded animal. tears streaming down his face. He pinned me down, tears and spit flying in my face as he blubbered on about me not understanding his pain, his fucking pain, his hands round my neck, darkness creeping in from the corner, his fucking pain, his fucking pain. The kitchen knife in my hands, in his neck, his hands, his fucking hands, they grew weak, and he just deflates like a balloon all over me. I rolled him off, and I look into his glassy eyes, filled with his fucking pain and our steel sky. 26. I didn't know how to feel after. I spent the night next to him, my mind a blank canvas, in the back of it a nagging voice saying I had to dispose of it. Daddy hadn't told me much, but he had told me about how bodies would go necro pop BTs and all that, made for a good bedtime story. So I knew what would happen if I let him lie. Death had come into our home and turned it into a crater. His sink was starting to fill up the room. His stink was starting to fill up the room. I had to deal with him. Had to get him out, get him as far away as possible. So I got my arms under his, and dragged him out into a new world with a new sky. Bigger, emptier, bare rock, dotted with bushes all around. Mountains, fucking mountains, off in the distance, carved clouds hugging their peaks. My knees started getting wobbly and the world began to spin. But I knew the clock was ticking. Eyes down, gotta deal with Daddy. I'd been moving at a steady clip when I saw it. Chiralium coming off Daddy. Little motes of shimmering light. I was out of time. I laid him down in the dirt. But before I let go, I had a vision. My hands still resting on his body disappeared, vaporized into the fine mist. Poof. And then I felt another presence, a BT, coming slow but sure, like I'd been walking since the beginning of time. Daddy's keeper. That was the first one I sensed, but it wasn't the last. For a long while after, I remained awakened to their presence, a sixth sense. Daddy's parting gift to me over time. It'd fade, but I knew how I got it, and I knew how to get it back. All I needed was another body, and I got real good at making them. Death for life. Theirs for mine. A fair exchange. Okay, so he wasn't... Well, he had a bad life, okay. Oof. Let's go ahead. It'll be one last save. And I'll end it by saying this was actually a fantastic game. People gave it a lot of crap. People gave it a lot of praise. In the end, it was fantastic. It has its flaws and it has its really, really fantastic moments. And I'd say, if you're at all interested, go ahead and play it. It's not a game, I'll be honest, it is not a game I would replay. I doubt most people would. But it's long enough to say I got my money's worth. It's quite an experience. And I can't wait for Kojima's next thing. Hope you guys enjoyed Death Stranding. I did. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.